Charlie Chaplin made the dictator ridiculous. The dictator wanted to look enormous. He wanted the balcony, the banners, the microphones, the marching crowds, and the blinding lights. He wanted every person beneath him to feel small. Then Charlie Chaplin walked into the picture wearing a bowler hat, carrying a cane, and looking like the least powerful man in the world. And somehow, the giant began to shrink. Chaplin understood something important about authoritarian power. It is not built only from weapons, laws, prisons, or soldiers. It is also built from performance. The ruler must appear unstoppable. The crowd must appear united. The slogans must sound unquestionable. The uniform must look larger than the person wearing it. Fear must be repeated until people begin performing obedience for one another. Chaplin had spent his career standing beside the people crushed beneath systems like these. His Little Tramp was poor, hungry, awkward, and regularly pushed aside. He did not control the factory. The factory controlled him. He did not command the city. He wandered through it, trying to survive without surrendering his dignity. That is why the machine matters in this story. In our first metamorphic image, the tramp is not merely standing inside an industrial world. The workers, gears, conveyor belts, clocks, tenements, and bread lines physically build him. His bowler hat rises from machinery. His coat is formed from exhausted laborers. His arms follow the conveyor belts that control the pace of their lives. His eyes contain people trapped behind factory windows. From a distance, we see Charlie Chaplin. Up close, we discover the human beings whose struggle gave the character meaning. The comedy worked because Chaplin understood humiliation. He knew what it meant to be poor. He knew what it meant to live close to hunger, instability, and social judgment. The tramp was never funny because poverty was harmless. He was funny because the powerless man kept finding a way to remain human. He was kicked aside, misunderstood, arrested, dismissed, and embarrassed. Still, he helped someone. Still, he loved someone. Still, he adjusted his hat, lifted his cane, and walked forward. The second image reveals that truth. The solitary tramp appears to walk alone. But his coat is built from migrants, unemployed workers, mothers, children, railway travelers, street performers, and families searching for shelter. The road beneath him is not empty. It is a bread line. It is a migration route. It is a line of people moving toward an uncertain future. Chaplin's character became recognizable around the world because millions of people understood the feeling of being made small. Then history produced another kind of performer. A political performer. One who did not identify with the person beneath the machine, but with the machinery itself. The authoritarian stage used many of the same tools as cinema. Lighting. Costume. Repetition. Music. Camera angles. Crowd direction. A carefully constructed entrance. A giant face above a public square. A voice magnified until it seemed to come from everywhere. In our third image, the towering political figure is physically built from the system producing his grandeur. The mouth is made from microphones and loudspeakers. The eyes are searchlights and surveillance lenses. The uniform is formed from rows of officials and obedient bodies. The face is printed from propaganda pages. The podium rises from bureaucratic machinery. From far away, the ruler appears immense. Up close, we see that the giant exists only because thousands of people, institutions, machines, and rituals are holding the image together. On the ground lies a small bowler hat and cane. Humanity has been pushed out of the center. Chaplin responded by entering the dictator's performance and turning its certainty against itself. The resemblance was visually dangerous and artistically powerful. The same small mustache could belong to a vulnerable barber or to a man demanding the world's obedience. Chaplin understood that appearance was not morality. A familiar face could carry two entirely different human worlds. One could be built from neighbors, workers, humor, music, and helping hands. The other could be built from surveillance, propaganda, rigid formations, and fear. That is the purpose of our fifth metamorphic image. It is not a simple good side and evil side. It is one face constructed from opposing moral systems. One eye contains ordinary neighborhood life. The other contains organized scrutiny and political theater. A barber chair aligns with a public podium. A neighborhood street continues into a ceremonial avenue. One microphone waits at the center. The object is neutral. The question is what kind of world speaks through it. Chaplin's most famous visual challenge to dictatorship included a globe treated like a stage prop. But a world is not a balloon. A world contains homes, children, factories, farms, ports, railways, families, languages, memories, people who must live with decisions made far above them. Our fourth image places those lives inside the globe. The continents are built from cities and neighborhoods. The lines across the surface become borders, railway tracks, military routes, and columns of displaced people. Small windows glow inside the darkness. Each light represents a life that political ambition would reduce to territory. The ruler's hands appear to control the planet. But when we look closer, those hands are built from offices, factories, files, and systems that turn human lives into calculations. The world is not the property of the loudest person on the stage. Chaplin also understood the power of the camera. A rally can manufacture certainty while it is happening. The lights can hide the edges. The crowd can be framed to appear endless. The speech can be repeated until the performance feels like truth. But a camera can also preserve evidence. A film can slow the performance down. It can reveal the machinery. It can allow an audience to look again. In our sixth image, the camera becomes a giant human eye. Cinema audiences form the outer lens. Film strips create the iris. Journalists, editors, witnesses, and filmmakers build the camera body. Inside the pupil stands the small Chaplin figure. The projector beam is made from people carrying testimony into public view. The authoritarian spectacle remains in the distance, but it no longer controls the frame. It is being watched, examined, remembered. Then comes the microphone. Chaplin had spent years communicating without spoken dialogue. When he finally used his voice against dictatorship, he did not end by asking the audience to worship a new hero. He appealed to ordinary humanity. That distinction is essential. A democratic message fails when the speaker becomes another object of obedience. The voice matters only when responsibility leaves the stage and enters the audience. Our seventh image shows the speaking figure built from the people being addressed. Workers form the jacket. Teachers, families, farmers, journalists, artists, and neighbors construct the face. The eyes are made from people listening and turning toward one another. The microphones stand aligns with Chaplin's cane and with the broken remains of ceremonial power. Behind him, the monumental stage is still present. But its walls are built from homes, schools, workshops, and public squares. Public life is reclaiming the architecture. The lights that once manufactured spectacle begin to resemble projector beams in morning light. One voice has exposed the illusion. But one voice cannot preserve democracy alone. That brings us to the final transformation. At first, we see the famous face. Then we discover that it is built from citizens rebuilding peaceful civic life. Teachers return to classrooms. Journalists document the truth. Workers restore damaged communities. Families feed one another. Artists preserve memory. Voters enter public spaces. Children move towards schools, homes, and a more hopeful horizon. The bowler hat is made from repaired rooftops in public assembly. The left eye holds remembrance. The right eye holds democratic action. The cane becomes a shared pathway of light. And slowly, the celebrity recedes. The people become clearer. That is the final truth of this metamorphic story. The artist can reveal the trick. The comedian can puncture the performance. The camera can expose the machinery. The speech can name the danger. But ordinary people must decide whether the illusion will be performed again. Fascism depends on audiences accepting their assigned roles. The obedient crowd. The silent neighbor. The intimidated journalist. The exhausted worker who believes nothing can change. The citizen who looks away because resistance feels inconvenient. Chaplin's power was not that he became larger than the dictator. It was that he made the dictator look smaller than humanity. A bowler hat. A cane. A vulnerable man refusing to surrender his dignity. Sometimes that is enough to break the spell. But breaking the spell is only the beginning. After the laughter, we must look carefully. After the film, we must remember. After the hero leaves the frame, the responsibility becomes ours. Fascism dies when the world is watching. Canada is watching net. And so is the world. Support humanity. Support Ukraine through United 24 Media. Big Dave, Canada is watching net. Big hugs.